They're going with this.
Well, hi there.
Could be just a kid playing with a phone.
Yeah.
Did you have a
I've got
nice holiday?
Like a third grader and a fourth
Did
grader.
you have a nice holiday?
That's probably what it is.
Alright.
Quiet.
Better not be mine.
I knew you were near there, but I didn't know exactly.
No,
what
I'm
number.
a different number. You know.
Hey, I saw on Neighborly, somebody looking for a good home for a rooster. I thought.
It was a rooster and a chicken.
Oh, sorry, sorry.
Because you got one, you got both. Yeah, no, Scott.
No, not
Yeah,
really?
I think
Okay.
you know how I feel about the roosters. I know how you feel about the roosters.
Yes, yes. They're at, what, 64?
I think that, I don't know if she's got roosters. They have chickens.
And chickens. No, they've got a rooster. Well, they are.
That's the rumor I heard.
Are they taking the chickens or leaving them? Do they come from the
No
house?
idea. Sometimes they do.
We had a rooster, but it attacked my wife, and she said, take care of that rooster.
Yep.
My son has chickens and they came in the mail for how do they do it. And he's not supposed to have roosters, he's in Sudbury, Mass. But one of them
always
isn't
miss
a
a few.
chicken.
It's really lucky.
Some of them are better than
It's
some
the
of them.
ones they do electronically.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So I may be advertising,
Yeah, there it
if
is.
anybody wants a rooster.
Yep.
Nobody wants a rooster.
It said it was recording.
Oh, there it is.
Did you call it back?
It's snowing. It's snowing.
It is now.
Are you kidding me? I'm dying.
All set?
Okay.
All right. It is 6 o'clock in Lee, New Hampshire on January 5th, 2026. First order is public comment, so if anybody has a comment, please come. Is
Sorry, I was opening the agenda. Sorry, apologies.
that Steve?
Yeah, because I was rewatching one of the budget things.
So if anybody has a comment, please come to the podium, state the name and address, address your comments to the board and not to the audience, and you have 3 minutes. Go ahead.
My name is Susan Mattioni on 260 Wadley Falls Road, and I'm actually commenting.
Is there mic on?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I have a cold, so it's not gonna come probably loud. So I actually have a request for help more than a comment. I'm looking to find out information about how we can get results from school article election results every year for the town of Lee only. So if anybody can help me get those results
Go ahead.
and go back to the way it used to be, I'd like to.
Yeah, I can address that. This has been brought up, and possibly by you 2 years ago, and both the Lee moderator, the Durham moderator, and the school moderator have had at least one, if not 2 joint meetings, and the ballot counting will be much different this spring. In fact, it will be by town. The counts will be done in the individual towns and then aggregated afterwards, but you should be able to get the Lee-specific results very quickly after voting this year.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
There was much back and forth about
I bet.
how it was handled, and it was determined that it needed to be done by individual town.
There you go. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anyone else? Mr. Huffman?
John Tappan, 187 Stephen Stones Road. The consent agenda includes appointments to the Capital Improvements Program Committee. These appointments should not be approved without discussion. I've spoken before about the hazard of creating conflicts of interest in these appointments. By RSA 674:7, at the request of the CIP committee, every municipal department, authority, and agency shall transmit to the CIP committee a statement of all capital projects it proposes to undertake during the term of the program. After study, the CIP committee shall advise and make recommendations to the department, authority, or agency concerning the relation of its project to the capital improvements program being prepared. Planning Board of New Hampshire, a handbook for local officials, states that the CIP should, quote, strive for an annual level of capital expenditures that approximates an affordable level of local tax expenditures for new capital improvements that keeps the tax rate relatively stable. That means that the proposed projects are competing for schedule and funding. Some projects will be pushed back and some may not even make the cut. If a CIP committee member is also a member of a group proposing a capital project, then that CIP committee member has an obvious conflict of interest. There are two boards with planned capital projects: cemetery trustees who are planning for a new cemetery, and the library trustees who have listed plans for outdoor programming space and undefined energy improvements to the library building. One of the CIP committee applicants is a member of one of these boards. Even if assembled now, the CIP committee will have no effect on the current budget deliberations, so there's no urgency to assemble a committee now for next year. Both the Select Board and the ABC need an objective recommendation of town project priorities. From the outside, the capital improvements program should appear to be an impartial assessment of town priorities. When the voters are asked to tax themselves to pay for these projects, it will be important that they see the CIP as unbiased. This is not about the qualifications of individuals, but about the incompatibility of positions. It's not about whether a candidate is capable, but about whether the Select Board should knowingly create a conflict of interest. You should not.
Thank you. Anybody else? No? All right, next order of business is the first of a series of three. I'm sorry?
Great.
Up to 3.
Up to
More.
three?
Up to
Well, there's
three.
three scheduled, how about that?
Up to
There's three
three.
scheduled. If we have not three, that's fine. But this is the first of the three scheduled budget public hearings. So I declare the public hearing open. Andy, do you want to walk us through what is
Sure.
proposed?
I can give you a brief overview, and essentially what these budget columns represent. There's a little bit of past history. The department FY '27 is what department heads requested for fiscal year '27. The select board line is essentially zeroed out. The board has not made specific motions to increase or reduce portions of the budget at this time. The ABC fiscal year '27 column is the budget committee's recommendations to the select board. Probably the primary expenditure increase in the ABC's budget is 2.5% step in employee wages. A primary cut is removal of an additional police officer that has been in the budget but has not been hired in the past year or two. And those were recommendations from the budget committee. There were some other small tweaks. They added in $6,000 for the Stratford Regional Planning Commission dues that the board had decided not to fund last year. Not much else changed. But I can walk through the different departments. There are copies, or there were copies of the budget available for anyone in the audience that wants a hard copy. I think it's important to note, as it says at the top, this is not a final budget. This is essentially the first pass after the budget committee's recommendation. General government executive, this is essentially increases in salary based on the 2.5 increase that the budget committee recommended. Election registration, vital statistics is exactly what it says, and the numbers here are typically keyed on the number of elections we know we're going to have over the course of a given year. Those numbers are provided by the town clerk, who discusses the situation with the moderator as well prior to putting the numbers forward. Registration and vital statistics, this is the town clerk tax collector, the deputy town clerk tax collector. This department has been a little bit in flux over the past 2 years. Still is a little bit. The present deputy town clerk, the former town clerk, is wanting to move on. She's serving as the deputy now. She does not want to continue as deputy past late spring. And these numbers are the town clerk's best estimate of what she needs to keep the office going. She is presently trying to hire an assistant town clerk that she could train to be the new deputy.
Andy, can I stop you? Yep. 4140 and 4141 have the same label. Is that, I would think 4141 should have a different label.
I know these are based on the state codes, but
We get the individual accounts, but the titles, I would think would be different, because town clerk tax collector is in election registration of vital stats.
yeah, and I can do an override and change the title. I think the line codes are correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can certainly correct that. Financial administration is essentially just that. This is the bookkeeper. It's, we no longer have a finance director. We contract the services for a reduced rate. It's the money that we pay the ABC members, some other housekeeping, printing, postage, that sort of thing that come into here. Our IT contracts, I hesitate to say this publicly, hopefully our IT person is not watching, but I did a survey of the Town Managers Association earlier this year, and we were in a very good position regarding our IT contract.
Doesn't he post our YouTube
Yeah.
videos?
Assessing, this is the amount that we pay for contracted assessing services. It's also what we pay to update tax maps. We use Municipal Resources, Inc. As our assessor. Right now, assessors are at a premium. We went out for a reval, and the only reasonable bid I got was from our present assessor. Legal expenses have been static. We've used $15,000 for the past few years. Some years we spend nothing. Some years you can easily spend $15,000 in short order if you get on the wrong side of things, or someone thinks you're on the wrong side of things. Personnel administration is the largest chunk of the budget and where the biggest increase is, and the biggest increase can be tagged pretty squarely to health insurance. We had steep estimated renewal rates for our health insurance. I have some proposals that have been shared with the board that are a little less than where we are right now, but there wasn't a particularly large savings to be had, even in moving to some of the other plans. There's a potential to look in the, we use the New Hampshire Health Trust, which serves municipalities exclusively. There's potential in the public market to find another group. Part of the problem is that I'm having in getting other quotes is that we're a fiscal year town, and insurance brokers are very reluctant to give you health insurance quote 6 or 7 months prior to your renewal. Health Trust does it by virtue of being a municipal service provider, but other brokerages are not so happy to stick their neck out and give you an estimate. This also includes retirement. Social Security, Medicare, and the retirement numbers all go up when employee salaries go up, so a cost of living adjustment or a step increase kick those numbers up a little bit. Planning and zoning, this is the administrator's wages for planning and zoning, the ancillary costs that go along with keeping the planning and zoning department open. It does not include the code enforcement officer. The building inspector has a separate line a little further down in the budget. Government buildings, this falls under Department of Public Works. This is exactly what it says it is, maintenance and care of government buildings and the surrounding landscaping, that type of thing that goes into that. Cleaning. Energy costs, we have a mix of propane and oil for heating sources, as well as electrical bills for all the buildings, and you'll see that there's some other charges in there for like Little River Park, that type of thing, that also have electrical service. Cemetery, this is the money that the cemetery trustees oversee to maintain cemeteries and allow interments in the town of Lee. Insurance, this is our property and liability insurance. It has gone up steadily, in large part because we've improved some of our buildings. Buildings have increased in value and we've added some new equipment. Typically, new equipment replacing 25 or 30-year-old pieces ends up costing you more insurance-wise. Other general government, these are committees and commissions that have requested money, consisting of, you can see, of the Energy Commission, the Sustainability Commission, the Technology Committee, and the League Readers Committee. Next line is the police department. Of the police lines, you can see there's not much difference in any of the lines here. There's dispatch charges for police and fire. Our ambulance contract, which is contracted with McGregor Ambulance. And although $88,991 might seem like a lot to pay for an ambulance, it's far, far cheaper than purchasing an ambulance and supplying it. The fire department is next. One of the reasons the fire salary lines are a little different from the department head to the budget committee. The budget committee recommended an across-the-board 2.5% increase. The fire salary lines had a higher increase than that incorporated in the department head request, so those were back down to the 2.5. Code enforcement officer, that's the building inspector. Emergency management is the emergency operations committee. We pay the director and the assistant director's stipend. That would be the fire chief and the health officer to oversee this. It's not day-to-day work, but some planning is required, communication is required, and you have to maintain an emergency operations plan that needs to be updated. It's fairly substantial as well. Highway and streets, this is Department of Public Works again. Department of Public Works includes government buildings, highway and streets, and the transfer station and sanitation. Moving on to sanitation, TS, that's the transfer station. We have a foreman and 2 full-time employees at the transfer station. Affiliated costs. You can see there are things like training and conference and travel in there. The transfer station requires a licensed operator, and that requires some continuing education. And there are also a series of meetings and conferences that the transfer station staff can attend, or the DPW director regarding recycling. We don't have a water district. We have a little bit of pest control, but that's included in government buildings. We don't budget for that separately anymore. The health agencies are social service agencies that have verified that they provide service to residents of the town of Lee. All of these agencies have come before the Budget Committee and the Select Board and provided statistics about what they provided, the number of people they've served, exactly what they do. And typically they are providing assistance that we do not have in this community. When we need to place somebody or get help, these agencies are available. Under welfare administration, we don't have a welfare director per se in the town of Lee. We contract with an individual who is the welfare administrative rep for several towns, including Portsmouth. She has not raised her rate. We have a fairly reasonable rate for the services she provides. And as far as the actual direct assistance costs, it's anybody's guess what we might end up paying. We're obligated to meet certain requirements for heating fuel, rent assistance, mortgage assistance, that type of thing. Doesn't really matter what we put in here. If the need arises, the town has to cover it. So we do the best we can at coming up with an estimate. Parks and Recreation, this is spearheaded by the Parks and Rec Commission. We don't have any paid Parks and Rec employees beyond the exercise instructor. And that is compensated and offset by revenue that's charged participants in those exercise programs. This would be events like the fishing derby, trip to the Red Sox game that was sponsored this year, may play a part with Old Home Day, any other events that come up on the horizon. The library, this budget is put together by the trustees of the library. The trustees have some autonomy in putting together their budget and running the library, and this is essentially salaries for the library folks. The actual library falls under government buildings. Patriotic purposes, we had no budget amount this year. Culture and recreation, this coming year is, I'm not able to say it, but Selectman Bugby could give us the correct term for the nation's 250th.
Semi-quincentennial?
The
Semi-quincentennial.
How about the 250th?
250 is fine, that's what it says. And you should do it.
There has been some planning for the last 2 years going into this for a series of events to celebrate the nation's 250th. And that budget line represents that. I believe that the amount this year in part is for the gala that's planned.
Well, it's the parade, the gala will pay for itself.
Yeah, the parade. Yep. Conservation is the Conservation Commission's request. This is essentially their operating money. This is outside the Conservation Commission funds that are held in capital reserve funding. Taxes assessed for the county, that figure is a little bit different than the 25 actual. I was not able to incorporate what we just recently paid into the spreadsheet, and the same with the taxes assessed for school district. But those are the two budgets. Essentially, the department head request was $6,200,000 and some change. The Budget Committee's recommendation was $6,180,979. If you look at the old, I say old, the Budget Committee sheets from a couple of weeks ago, they don't match exactly. The cover page on the Budget Committee recommendation was very close. The difference is that some of the salary lines, things like overtime lines, that type of thing, I tweaked slightly because if the hourly rates are going up, those will go up too. And the Budget Committee also included a flat $80,000 as an across-the-board 2.5 step, and I have no ability to use the across-the-board line, so I took the $80,000 out and dispersed it into the steps, which are reflected in the individual salary lines. And not included any warrant articles. The deadline for petition warrant articles is January 13th. The last day for the select board to post warrant articles is January 26th. Haven't seen any petition warrant articles at this point. I have seen some planning and zoning warrant articles that are coming forward.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the select board members?
But I think there's probably some comments from the audience, so let me take
Anybody?
them first.
Comments from the audience?
Sure.
Ms. Casper?
Sharon Casper, 16 Elder Osborne Drive. I'd like to suggest two warrant articles. One would be to continue, because you said there weren't any yet, correct?
Not that have been turned in, nope.
Okay, so I hope that the Energy Committee will remind us that we need to put money aside for the transfer station solar array, because as soon as we buy that, we're gonna start saving a lot of money. Right now, it's not bringing us much money, but that moment will be a great one. And then I'd like to suggest, because of the fact that the town voted for and very strongly wanted us to have SRPC, and we didn't honor that, the only way I feel safe to make sure that that happens is that it becomes a warrant article instead of in the budget, because I think that it's something that the people want, and we feel very disrespected that that wasn't something that was passed, and we would like the opportunity to vote for something that we can do. We didn't honor it, so let's do it this way, so we can make sure that SRPC is funded.
So, one, right at the moment, there's 35,000 being proposed for the solar array.
Oh, great.
And right at the moment, that money is in the budget that he just presented
Oh,
for the
this-
SRPP. Yeah, but if you want to do that's perfectly fine.
I just don't know how, I mean, it was in the budget, it was voted in by people, and it wasn't honored, so I don't know how to make sure that it gets honored, and trust doesn't feel really good right now, so, you know, I don't know how to do that.
Well, you need to submit it to Andy for, what was it, January?
January 13th for petition and January 26th for the board.
So, January 13th, by close of business, so,
Okay, so I will write the warrant
yeah,
article.
and it needs to get to Andy. So,
It has to be a petition warrant, right?
Can't the select board put a warrant article?
But-
They could if they wanted to, but if they put it in the budget, it's in there. So,
It was in the budget last year, voted by the people.
it was in the we can argue about this
That's
if you
fine.
want, but, yeah,
I'm
so.
asking the select board to put it in as a warrant article, that's my request, because I think that has a much
Okay.
more important
All right,
sway to it.
sure.
If that's not something that happens, I'd love to know, and then I'll write one, but I think that, one way or the other, I wanna make sure that the people have a chance to be represented. in the
Understood.
select board.
And you've been our representative this past year,
I
our
have.
non-voting representative.
I only get to vote on very specific issues. I'm watching grants not get written for funding, I'm watching us not be able to have a voice at tables. I can't be at committees, and so we're really not being represented in the way we should be. So I really would like to see us back there. There's a lot of funding, actually, I know there's a lot of funding that's been cut from a ton of things, but there is funding for things like sidewalks and bridges and other things like that, that we would need to have someone write those grants for. I don't know who's gonna do that. So I don't think anyone in the town has a lot of free time. That's something that they would do for us. They do naturally, and they always have, but, you know, we don't have anyone to do that. So I would love to see us making sure we're taking advantage of everything we can.
Thank you. Anybody else have any comments during the hearing?
If the board members would like, I have the ability to convert this to an Excel spreadsheet and make it live so you can individually fill in the SB lines as you see fit and bring them back as your recommendations.
Oh. Well, we already have that, so if John wants a copy, we can send it to him too, so.
You're good to go? Good.
Yeah. Any comments from the select board members?
I guess my only real place that seems like there's a lot of wiggle room is the health insurance. So I don't know what we can do in the next, when's our next budget hearing? Is it next Monday or is it the Monday?
Next Monday.
Next Monday.
12.
Well, anything we can do in the next couple weeks to see if we can come up with a better plan
Yep.
for that.
I've got, the options that I have, that I've given you previously are essentially the options that I have right now.
Okay.
And I have talked with department heads,
Okay.
about the ramifications of changing, and I think the Health Trust still offers some very comprehensive coverage. And if you went with a large deductible plan, there is also the ability to do, I can't remember whether they're calling it a health savings account this year, or
HSA.
an FSA or an HSA, or it changes from time to time, but you can do things like that too, where the town makes a donation towards the deductible into the account, and you still end up saving almost always considerably more.
So is the coverage the same? Or,
The coverage is very similar.
because you said
Just-
high deductible.
There are higher deductibles and higher co-pays.
So it's not the same. It's close, but not the same.
Well, a larger out-of-pocket for the employees.
Hmm.
The network stays the same, the formulary stays the same.
Because I think just, what's a good term to use? Pour water on the fire or something like that, maybe that's the wrong analogy. But just based on calculations, we need to raise almost $800,000 more than we did the last year, because expenses and revenue. So unless this particular board is interested in cutting services and or people, there's no way we're gonna make that up. So that's an issue for me. And like Selectman Hawthorne was saying, Select Person Hawthorne, I was saying, health insurance, that's one way to look, but we're talking about $30,000-$40,000. So if we keep what we've got, the tax increase is gonna be significant. And we've got the numbers from the school, and he's got the numbers from the school that they're projecting. So it's not pretty. It's not pretty. So,
The only saving grace is a little bit further down in the agenda. I am going to discuss the additional unassigned fund balance that we have, so that will come in.
is it good news?
It's good news.
Oh, okay, that's something. But, so I don't know, because we can nickel and dime all we want, but we're not gonna get.
Not gonna make up that massive amount.
The other thing I wanna bring up, and I did an analysis, and there's some things in here that you've got in the ABC line which are not what the ABC recommended. And I got to 3 and then I stopped counting. So I don't know if we can go through just some of those just to qualify.
We can. One of the things I noticed pretty quickly when I was doing this was that the ABC, I'm not sure what changed in that spreadsheet. Some things had changed and the bottom lines were far off.
Far off from what, though?
Far off from the department head request and what,
Well, some of them have changed. Like, for instance, they recommended in terms of, I mean, the chief is here, in terms of the CALIA stuff. You're not doing CALIA, so you said to take off 5,000, right? So the total line that you requested was 10,000. We take off 5, it's 5,000. You've got down here the ABC recommended 10,000, so that is incorrect.
okay, so.
So
Kalia.
I'm assuming, you're nodding, so I'm assuming, yes. So it's things like that, so I'm not sure where that came about.
Okay, I will go back through the detail section of the ABC and,
Yep. And for instance, Parks and Rec in one of DPW's budgets, they requested 28. I know we cut it down, and you've still got 28 in there, and that's not what they recommended. The other one is under animal control. You've got down that they recommended nothing. That's not true. So I think you need to go back through and check those.
Okay,
The last one I have of the three is Oyster River Women Aid. They recommend 1,000, you've got it down as 2,500. So there's some discrepancies in there that need to be fixed. And the other thing, I believe in patriotic purposes, sorry, I did 4, not 3. I believe they left in $1, just in case we need to buy something, so it's not, you get down to 0. So there's some discrepancies there that need to be fixed.
all right, I will go through that line by line again, and I'll also include
Great.
the ABC sheet that I had.
Okay. Is the one you got from
From Eric.
From Eric? Okay.
Which that was part of the reason I sent the board a second budget, because when I had gone through there were 3 or 4 salary lines on that didn't match up with what we were actually paying people
Okay.
in the 2.5.
Which is fine, which is fine. And in terms of the warrant articles, the board went through those, and I assume you've got them in there someplace in the warrant articles? Okay.
I do.
Was there a reason that the ABC reduced the Parks and Grounds maintenance from the 26 to 7,000?
As far as I remember, they thought that that was needed. It wasn't needed, that particular amount. That's what they, if I remember correctly, that's what they talked about.
What did they do?
Parks and Rec maintenance, you asked for 28,000, they reduced it,
26,500.
26,500.
Oh, that's because I didn't have a place to put the roadside mowing line, so it got stuck in that.
That was roadside mowing and the cistern mowing
Yeah.
too, wasn't it? Yeah.
Were you not mowing the cisterns before?
No,
But we should mow them,
Yeah.
because that keeps them
yeah.
better.
The highway department has historically never mowed them.
Okay,
And then they got all overgrown, so this year we did it,
okay,
and it cost me a lot of money, so that's why there was 20.
Okay,
6,500.
That's, it'd be like $5,000 for parks, and then 20,000 for the roadside mowing / cisterns, is what it should have been.
There wasn't a coded line that I could break that out in, so Steve had discussed that with
I mean, it could either go there, or you could put it into the rented hired equipment, which it could go in that one just fine too.
okay,
But that's why it was so much higher.
okay.
And then we have the youth services youth services assistants, they only requested 500, but it looks like the ABC put it back up to 2,000.
No, I believe they accepted that. So if you just go down through and
I will.
see,
Well, I'm looking at the ABC one that you sent me originally, it has it at 2,000.
that's based on what he put in and sent us.
Okay.
So that's what that particular line is, that's why I sent you that email that said, it should be labeled that. It's
Yeah. I was
really,
looking at the first Excel spreadsheet you sent me.
yeah, that was tied to his too.
Oh, that one's
So
I did too,
it's-
okay.
so-
I was curious why we were giving them a lot more than they asked for, because I thought we said no one was using it or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question in general for the tax collector, and are those figures correct now? Remember, there was so much discussion.
Those are from
They
this month's
are as
conversation.
correct as the town clerk, tax collector can make them right now, she feels.
Because the thing is, until we find somebody to replace Linda, we're
Yes.
paying Linda at
I
that
know.
higher rate.
Mhm.
Is what it is.
It is what it is.
And she did, a Herculean job in terms of coming back.
No question about it.
After she retired, it's because we were in kind of dire straits, so.
Okay. I also, I feel like we're gonna start doing that thing, we start slicing things. That's usually what happens. I just wanna throw out there, I think I want more detailed information about the nation's 250th, because we gave them a lot of money, and then they want more money, and it's a parade. If we're gonna start cutting police officers
Yeah.
and people, I think we should cut the parade.
Well, they asked for 6,700 to do what they need to do. The ABC cut it down to 4.
Right, because 27 of it was for the gala. It was, that's what she presented. I can show you the thing if you'd like.
And the gala should pay for itself.
Well, I completely agree, but I'm assuming that's why the ABC cut it, because they cut it by the amount that was listed as part of the gala.
Mhm.
This is what she, or sorry, they cut it by $500 more than what was part of the gala. So originally, the budget presented to us had 22 in there for the gala. Which I agree, that doesn't make sense to me.
At subsequent meetings after that was presented, yes, the gala should pay for itself. So,
But
yeah.
I don't know that we should be giving any more money to a parade if we're talking about cutting other things.
Understood.
That's my opinion.
Understood. Because I'm at the place that I don't think there's really too much fat in this particular
I
budget.
agree with you.
That's why I let off
Trying to
with,
find it.
until you think about reducing services, cutting benefits, cutting staff, you're stuck with what that is.
No, I understand.
And like I said, you can cut whatever the remaining 4,000 is. That's not gonna make it up to the 80,000.
No, it's not,
800,000,
but
so.
I just don't think you can have a party and cut other things at the same time. It's really not.
Well, as long as we cut things, other things too, so, but,
This budget's already cutting things from what they asked for.
no, well, with health insurance going up, the salaries going up, things cost more these days. And revenue's not growing. It's just not growing. So,
Of course, the investments that we made and sold in other areas, it doesn't show up here, it shows up in the fund balance in the loan.
it sums up in some of the revenue, because we get checks every periodic.
We get credits and checks.
Yeah, but it's not hundreds of thousands of dollars.
No.
either, So.
I understand, but
Yeah.
I think the board had asked me probably early December if I had those figures, and I need to go back after revision and get their report that gives you an exact breakdown of
Yeah.
what we actually received for credits.
It's a good idea because it starts to cut down on expenses of operating expenses.
Yes.
That's- Yeah, so that's a good idea. And plus, it's environmentally sound. But, it's not cutting it. It's not cutting it. So,
no, yeah, of course not.
but the thing is, how much longer do you keep proposing budgets that are 8-9% higher than they were the previous year? And the school districts, based on what Denise got me for numbers,
I think it was 85 cents.
85 cents, which is 5% increase. So,
We don't have any control over that.
I understand that, but it doesn't make any difference when somebody gets their bill, their tax bill, they don't look and say, they blame the town, because the town sent the bill. And when you have those conversations in the market basket, in the produce section with people, then they understand it, but,
Have you considered going to the Epping Market Basket?
I have, but people are down there too. Yep,
That's
yep.
Durham,
Durham,
the Raymond Hannaford's as well.
oh, that's a nice one. Yeah, I see more people in the produce section of Market Basket in Lee that stop me and ask me questions, which is perfectly fine. And I initially said, oh, maybe I'll sneak them and I'll go to Epic. No, they find me there too. So I think people are following me. I got
You
a
need
tracker or
to
something.
protect your RBS.
So maybe you're eating too much salad.
That's an idea. Yep.
I will loan you a small child to the market.
Really? Which
You like
one?
them? I don't know which one you want.
I don't know. Whichever one doesn't, complain about, oh, stop
The point
talking to
is
that
to
person.
complain, so you don't have to talk to them.
Oh, well, that's
the entire complaint of having a small child.
I can pretend I have
Okay.
laryngitis or something.
Anyways, all right, so you're gonna look into those numbers,
Yep.
get back to us. Is there
And
any other?
I'll turn those around tomorrow for you, so.
And I did like that post, I haven't seen any responses that you put on Neighborly about the taxes, the budget and stuff, that was good.
Oh, good, we should be informed.
Yeah.
So we'll take a crack at this next week, huh?
Guess so.
Even though we need to make it correct, but there's small areas, but unless we come up with a miracle.
Any other comments from the audience?
I was just curious, could you just speak to the?
You have to come to the thingy and say your
Sorry.
name and address. So Denise can record you.
Colin Blake Butler, 3 Spencer Lane. Just wondering if you could speak to the changes in the police sergeant wages, the fire overtime wages, and then the police retirement. Just curious, just because I saw there were some pretty big increases, so I was just wondering what was driving those.
Okay, for the police, there actually should have been a decrease, and that,
I was just looking at the sergeant wages, it went from 74,000 to 149,000.
He's
well,
looking at
the 149 was what was requested for this year.
Okay.
It hasn't actually been expended, and the budget committee recommended cutting it to 86,502.
Okay.
This was, and the police chief can certainly address that too.
The 149,000 is when we had 2 sergeants.
Yep.
That makes sense.
So when one sergeant left, we're down to just the 1 sergeant. And basically, all I did was, if you have to look at all the line items for the pay, because one person, a sergeant left, one person went to a senior patrolman. So the money really didn't change a whole lot,
Okay,
it just got moved around because I aligned the line items with the personnel we had, a lieutenant, a sergeant, 2 corporals, a senior patrolman, and patrol.
Okay, perfect. Makes sense. I was looking at line by line.
The
so I just-
ABC looked at that salary amount of, I think it was $65,000 and took it out of that line in their
So what I did
recommendation.
this year was add 65,000 to replace an officer.
Okay,
That was the increase.
perfect, thank you.
Yep.
And he also asked about
Oh,
retirement.
and.
Well, the fire overtime is another one that seems to continue to have some pretty steady increases.
Oh, I can talk about that one, because I rewatched that video today. So the fire chief came and explained, so they've had 4 guys on various and sundry medical and personal leaves, and so we've had to pay other people. So I believe, at the time that he came here, he said he'd already almost used up the entire
Okay.
fiscal year '26 budget, and we're not even halfway through fiscal year '26. So there's a concern that we're gonna use it up, and that could continue to happen.
We've been very close on fire overtime several years in a row.
And I had a lot of injuries,
Yeah, okay.
unfortunately.
Yeah, I was just curious on the police retirement. It went up, went down, now we're back up, it's looking like.
And that is a reflection of hiring. We've been very close to fully staffed in the police department last year and this year. 2 prior years, we were not.
And of course, the rate changed too.
The rate did go up too, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Well, the percent with the pay is dictated by the state.
Okay,
We have to tell.
thank you. Well, then I said one last one. Well, I'm all for things going
Yeah,
down.
sure.
The highway and paving and asphalt, we were at 200,000, now we're going to 50, and as I see the conditions of the roads, doesn't seem to be getting much better, so I was just wondering.
That was actually, the expenditure for paving was taken out of the operating budget and floated as a warrant article last year.
Okay,
Which passed.
Which passed.
yeah, okay.
So basically, he has 300,000 to do roads.
Perfect,
The warrant article was 250,000 and there was 50,000 in the line item.
perfect. That answers my question, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Any other questions from anybody? Going once, going twice, thrice? All right. Anything from the board members? All set?
I'll second out.
So I declare this budget hearing closed at this particular time. Next, regular business.
Okay,
Mr.
under regular business.
Ian.
I did get a call from the library trustees who saw that I had put library vestibule update on here. Wanted to know what I was gonna talk about. I had talked to trustee Nelson about the library vestibule project while we were at a finishing up meeting for the library solar project. He had given me a heads up that the library had reviewed concerns about the bulkhead door under the deck for the planned vestibule, and we're going to be revisiting the plan. Shortly thereafter, I spoke with Andy Gasowski, who is organizing a meeting with the DPW director, the fire chief. I believe she invited the police chief, planning and zoning, code enforcement officer, and myself to go through some suggestions and thoughts and concerns they have about the vestibule project before they progress any further. But my conversation with Mark led me to believe that there was some definite concern about covering the bulkhead, and the overall footprint might be smaller to avoid that.
Because the thing for the septic tank is right there too, is that?
There's a, I forget the exact order, there's a dry well, there's a septic tank. The septic tank is just a steel tank. There's also,
Wasn't there like an opening though, so you could still get to it?
that's my understanding, yes. I know Steve was there when Mr. Stevens came and pointed out various landmarks to us.
That's good.
The septic is outside the footprint that they presented to you
Okay.
a couple weeks ago. The problem was the bulkhead opens out and it's the emergency exit for the cellar, so you can't.
Lock it.
Yeah, because if you need to get out, you're gonna open the bulkhead into the deck, and it doesn't really work.
Are they talking about moving the bulkhead?
I don't
Okay.
know what they're planning. And then now that the solar panels are on the roof and the snow comes off,
Yeah.
worried about it building up on the vestibule, backing up underneath the shingles and screwing up their brand new sheet rock, so
Mhm.
there's some issues.
Issues. All right. All right.
Thank you for keeping an eye on them.
Beyond that, the library solar battery project has been completed. We're online. I'll send you, I finalized the links this afternoon, but I'll send you links so you can see the production and what it's actually generating and what it's doing. I met with Jennifer Runyon from Eversource. She's their community outreach person, signed the paperwork to get money back for the first part of that. I'm also working with 603 Solar, filling out the federal tax credit forms. They have to file the completion forms first, but I've signed those. They're doing that. So that's up and running. We've got money rolling in to pay for it, and I'll give you a final project completion date when I actually see the money and
Show me the money.
have it in the bank.
So you'll post those in eCryer or something, or on the website too?
Yes.
Because
Yep.
it's just like the transfer station, right?
It
It's
is.
the same thing.
It's a little more detailed, but you can go in and see how the solar panels are doing on any given day and
Okay. All right. Good.
what's being stored, that sort of thing. Audit status, I did not get an update. I do not have the audit as of right now. I want it.
I want it.
Within the next week or so, at the latest, and
Is this-
anticipate getting it, but
Is this the last year of our contract?
it is.
So please put down, next time we do this award, it has to be presented to us before the end of the calendar year.
Yep.
Not January or February or whatever like that, so that's a stipulation.
And we've had some discussions, and
We haven't paid them yet, right? Okay.
we've not.
Okay.
But I don't have the audit yet.
And have you sick the lease on them yet? That's usually, no?
Usually worked.
That's usually the last resort.
That's last resort, okay, fair enough.
The tax collector, town clerk, deputy budget line, as I've said, as of right now, the town clerk feels that she needs the numbers that she has in the budget.
Any movement in terms of finding somebody to fill the deputy?
We've got several people that we're going to talk to. I also need to have a little further discussion with you.
Okay, fair enough.
Under miscellaneous, at this point, don't have a lot. The one thing I did want to do was an update on the unassigned fund balance. The amount that was actually showing on the DR website was apparently a worst-case scenario that the auditors and MRI had given them. That was the lowball amount for the unassigned fund balance. When I had Brenda close the account, I didn't realize that it had not been closed, and she actually did the trial balance. The unassigned fund balance is very similar to what it was before. It was $2,219,040.
So, I'm gonna get yelled at by Michelle at the library, because she said, why didn't you use any of the fund balance? I said, because it only showed 1.6 million. When she finds out this, I can't go to the library anymore, because she's gonna cost me.
You can't go to the
She'll
market
just
basket,
find
you
it
can't go to
in
the
a
library.
section. So is there anything we can do now that we have a different number?
We can't reset the tax rate, but
Can we reset the tax rate for June or July? Like, is there anything we can do here?
not that I'm aware of. I will certainly discuss it with Department of Revenue, but
We could do it with the federal government, we could send everybody a check for the
Well, we can offset some warrant articles. You could,
So,
because, you know, operating budget, then warrant articles on top would be more than 6%.
yeah, you could use some of it and just say, funding from the unassigned fund balance, you
Yeah.
could do that.
Right, 'cause we're looking at like 600,000, am I getting that right?
In terms of what?
Above the threshold that we usually keep, right, because we
Oh.
had just what we wanted last time, which was
Well-
1.6,
The policy says 1.5, so
so
yes.
6 to 7.
Yeah, you got some breathing, but I think that was for the warrant for the fire, what was it, 250,000 they were looking for?
I don't know, but that's, I think we should revisit the warrant articles then,
Yeah.
or
No,
see if
we
we can lower the tax rate, like, those are the,
I don't believe there's any way to lower the tax rate.
The current one.
well, that's annoying.
So we got help with the warrant, we should revisit those anyways. So if you bring those next time,
Yep, in terms of the draft.
yeah, the draft.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else that we've got?
Well, that's very good news, Mr. Andy.
Yeah, it's like,
Wow. It'll be good news next October.
Well,
The other thing that you had asked me, that I didn't have on here, that'll come under miscellaneous, you had inquired about towns that had recently completed revals. And there are several around us, Northwood, Deerfield, two others that I looked at. There was no easy range when you look at the numbers. Pretty much for all the towns, it varied between a low of a 25% increase and a high of around a 60% increase, depending on the type of building and the value. So I guess you could look in the middle there. I will tell you, my town just completed one this fall, and I saw, on a 3-bedroom Cape with a 2-car garage, I saw a 58% increase in my valuation, and that's.
the notes that come from Todd Selig for Durham, he said on average it was 19 for them, because they just finished one. I just don't want, this is me personally, I just don't want us to not keep our eye on that particular ball, because that affects people on fixed incomes. We've got some people that don't pay any particular tax because they're underneath the, valuation and stuff. So I just don't want that to happen again, because we had some people that they never got a tax bill, and now they get this bill for $1,200 and they can't
Right.
pay for it. And it behooves the towns to keep these people in their homes, because if they have to move out because they can't afford it, they're gonna have other people buying those particular houses, sending more kids to the school, which, it's not that I don't like kids, but, I think the last conversations we had, I think it was like 0.9 kids or something, pays for what the average evaluation is. So, once you get one kid in there, now it's costing you more if you get 2 or 3 or 4. So, but yeah.
I think one of the things I can do, and can probably get Scott, our assessor, to help me, is go in some other towns and just pick some certain value homes, because the 19% average, you're considering commercial and manufactured and that sort of thing, which doesn't necessarily reflect what people that have just a standard single-family
Well,
residence are
the other
gonna see.
thing, you know who these people are, and you know what properties they own. So maybe if you take whatever those particular properties are, I assume they're all residential, they have to be. What's the residential average in those particular places? So, but, yeah.
So commercial is certainly offsetting
Yeah.
the residential increase, because
Yeah.
it really hasn't come anywhere near close to the valuation increases the residential has.
But yeah, since we're kind of skipping around, did you find anything out about the MRI mistake in terms of the interest? Are they gonna pick
Yeah,
those up?
and essentially that is just a paper tiger, so to speak. We have not lost any interest. These are, and Denise and I had been through it a few times. It actually happens every year, and it's just to clear the the tax collectors' rolls. These are properties that either the owner has gone, maybe the camper's gone, that sort of thing. Someone has gotten a tax bill and come back and said, I don't own this property.
Yeah.
And the language that our assessor uses, is fairly standard assessing language, is he always includes any interest and penalties in there. There are no interest and penalties being returned, and it's not actual money that we've collected in most cases.
Even for those ones that they missed some information?
Yep.
Okay, all right. It doesn't seem right that they made a mistake supposedly and we have to pay for it. So if they're not paying those particular things, then we're not paying anything.
There is no loss of revenue whatsoever. And
Okay.
I did discuss with Scott whether he could leave off the interest and penalties, and he would really prefer not to.
That's fine. Just as long as that's what's going on, not that somebody paid it and now he wants 8% back, or was it 12%? No, I think it's 8% back, so, all right.
No, we're not sending anybody any money back.
Fair enough. Anything else, miscellaneous or anything? No? All right. Consent agenda. Anybody want to pull something? I want to pull number 1, because I agree with Mr. Chapin that Mr. Nelson is going to be put in a compromising position. So other than that, you want to have the discussion before or afterwards? Okay, so I move to accept the consent agenda items presented except for item number 1. Do I have a second?
Second.
You want Manano pulled too?
Do you want number one pulled?
I'm pulling 1. We'll have a discussion about both, but
So yes.
my issue is with Mr. Nelson. So, I got a second?
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, number 1. So, I'm okay with Mr. Wanano. I'm not okay with Mr. Nelson. So, my point is the same, is we're putting him in a compromising position. I'd rather have somebody else on that. And I know it's hard to get people anyways.
It's part of the issue, it's hard to get people to sit on committees to begin with.
Yeah.
Do we know how much longer his library trustee's position is, and if he's planning on running again?
Well, he's on the Conservation Commission as well. So
I haven't had
not
a
that they
discussion
have-
with him about that.
2028.
But it kind of bothers me that you think it's gonna be an issue. A person of his integrity and everything else, I think he can follow his own thoughts and needs at this point. And you know how I feel about you sitting on the ABC. So I feel there's a conflict there. So now we're both in conflicts at this point. So I look at this as, to me, the CIP, so let's put it back where it is. It's not like a full-blown committee of houses and airports and streets and stuff. It's more of just an equipment type of thing, gathering information and making formal recommendations. The board always has final decisions at this point. So it's gonna be hard to find personnel. I just think he's well qualified, put it plainly.
I agree, I actually thought of him originally because of his many years of experience.
Okay. It takes 2.
I mean, and your concern is that that there's conflicts with the library, which really is such a separate thing that I don't know that how much a CIP really deals with them anyways. Stereotype, that's what I said.
All right, so,
Mr. Chapman.
oh, sorry, Mr. Temple.
I'm John Tappan, 187 Stepping Stones Road. Again, it's not about a person's qualifications. It's not about whether or not they can wear 2 hats. It's about the appearance. You're creating the appearance of a conflict of interest. And that's a real problem.
Okay, thank you.
So is the library part of the CIP because of the way in which they have to do their own planning?
So they have to be part of the CIP, because we control the building. They control the stuff inside of it. the town owns the building. We
That's
have
right.
set-
I just,
You know, last say in terms of the building, so. Motion?
I have a motion that Mr. Nelson be part of the CIP.
Mr. Lomano?
And Mr. Lano, that's
well,
it.
no.
Lenano, thank you.
Yes. Second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Nay.
Nay.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, old business, I think, other than school tax information, I don't know if you covered that, Andy?
No, just the only information we received back was that they anticipate an 85-cent increase moving forward,
If everything passes,
if everything
If everything
passes.
as currently presented, which their hearing's not till what, the 14th?
14.
Yeah, and we had a $1.66 increase. This tax setting was the school portion, so.
So it's an 85-cent increase or 85-cent total?
From, it was a little hard to discern, but as near as I could tell, they were talking about an 85-cent increase.
So whatever the rate was this year, which is,
166.
no, in terms of what the rate is this year for the school, it's, what is it, 18.29. So it's 85 cents on top of that. Which brings it to 19.14. Whoops.
We don't decide, these are not part of the budget.
Do you want to be?
It's got your name on it, you can say it.
Well, do you want to pass it down so Scott can sign it?
Yeah. I don't know how I'm gonna get around and do
We could continue the monitor, Scott. Yeah, we'll have to chase down the other numbers.
Well, just the chair needs to sign it, right?
Who's the chair?
Well,
I know, that's, I didn't know. Sorry.
yeah, because you only need the chair of both committees. Pat, I'm not sure what her status is, so.
I'll just try to get one of the other ones.
Eric is in the office enough that we can get his signature, I'm sure.
It's not the chair, though.
But no.
You did give the presentation, did you?
But it's not the
Vote and
chair.
you didn't give him any power or anything?
Nope. No, we didn't give him any power. He's powerless.
That's nice, I'm sure he'll love to hear that.
And you made those changes that. Are you all caught up now? In terms of,
Yeah, I know, right?
oh my goodness.
What the hell's going on?
December 22nd is almost done.
Is this go?
Your signature is on the bottom, if these go together.
Oh,
Your signature is just on the other page.
oh, well, let's check this out. Oh, okay. Don't mind me.
Did I miss something?
Nope.
There's one where the signature lines are not all on the same page.
I know. Interesting. I thought Denise was just trying to challenge us to see if we're paying
She
attention.
was.
I think I'm the only one that passed.
And how did Mr. Jeans do? Cash flow, I assume we didn't go broke.
No.
Thank you.
Actually, money came in very quickly for taxes, I'm assuming because people wanted to get it paid in this calendar year.
Oh, did you get credit? Yeah.
Any money is done.
Well, it should have been okay after I dropped off my $1 million check.
Nope, we're in good shape, we paid the county, we paid the school.
That's good. All right, that's everything in old business. Anything new? Anybody wants
The
to?
only thing new is that the master plan committee has finished their process, they've reviewed it, it's been edited, it's off for public reading at this time.
Oh, that's exciting.
Good.
I think it is posted.
Yeah, do we have the link up yet? I think you did it last week.
You can check with Karen on that now.
No, Karen had given us a hard copy that we were converting into electronic copy.
Okay.
What's the last day people want to run for office?
January.
January what?
I haven't gotten that yet from the town clerk's.
So I didn't bring the.
It's gotta be
full
soon,
calendar.
right?
It's
We
coming
should
soon.
start, well, the delivery sessions is 31st. That Friday before that is the deadline, and it starts the Wednesday previous to that.
Yep.
So you get a week and a half.
It's tight.
We should start advertising that if we're not already. Maybe people will run.
Yep.
Nope, typically the town clerk puts out a list of available positions, and we put it on Facebook, put it in the e-crier, and
Okay.
send it to likely suspects.
Likely
Suspects.
It's everybody. You're all
Isn't that a
likely.
police term? in terms of-
Likely suspects.
All right, anything else? You want non-public in what, A?
Under A, yeah.
Okay, so I moved into non-public session, New Hampshire RSA 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2, section A. Do I have a second?
Second?
Mr. LaCourse?
Yes.
Mr. Hepburn?
Yes.
Mr. Bugby, yes. Motion passes.
I assume the small child is fine.
Yes.
So then mine-
Yeah,
Is that the federal or?
no, that's the property tax. It's just the deadline.
Oh, he's doing it.
He's doing it.
Oh. Oh, thank you.
Doing what?
I forgot to turn off the
Oh,
noise.
the thing.
Oh, yeah. While Denise was running.
Oh. You all set? So I move to seal the non-public minutes. Do I have a second?
Second?
Excuse me. John LaForce?
Yes.
Rebecca Hawthorne?
Yes.
Scott Bugby, yes. Motion passes. Anything else? Nope.
Nope.
So the next one is the 12th.
Next Monday.
Next Monday.
And then the final one is the 19th,
If
or
you
the
need it.
20th.
The 20th
It's
Tuesday.
Tuesday, because the 19th is
Okay,
Martin Luther King Jr.
all right. So I move to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
And then we have the deliberative on the 31st.
31st.
Okay.
9, right?
That's what I wrote down.
Yep.
Whatever you tell me. What's wrong?
Well, that'd be nice. Last year was just me. So
Faculty is starting to show up already.
I already have my Canvas courses published. I made,
You're ahead of the game. Holy mackerel.
the syllabuses are all done.